Operator skills in Call of Duty Mobile are one of my favorite features out of all the multiplayers in the Call of Duty franchise. Even though, on average, most people get their operator skills 1 to 2 times per game, these skills aren't really game-breaking in my opinion. And the best part about them is that it rewards good players. Okay, now when I say good players, I don't mean like super sweaty, try-hard MLG pros at all, but just the more kills you get or the objectives you claim, the faster you'll earn your operator skill. So essentially, it's rewarding team play. Another huge thing I like about operator skills is that they don't ruin the flow of a game, but they can act as a significant turning point. For example, if you're losing B in domination and you need to hold that position in order to go and win the game, all you need to do is bust out one of the skills like a war machine and light up the B site. Knowing when and how to use your operator skills could be the difference between winning a game and losing a game. These skills alone just make me so excited for the esports of this game just to see how these pro players use them to their advantage. As of right now, there are 5 operator skills in Call of Duty Mobile. These 5 are the Transform Shield, the Tempest, the Scythe, the Purifier, and the War Machine. Currently locked is a skill called the Sparrow, which is a compound bow with an explosive tip, and a skill that was teased 2 weeks ago on the official Call of Duty Mobile Twitter was the Gravity Spikes, which are just spikes that you can slam into the ground, which causes damage to nearby enemies. With that said, in this video, I'm going to be ranking these operator skills from the worst to the best. I do want to mention that this is my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with my placement, that's perfectly fine. You have your own opinions and I have mine. But feel free to let me know in the comment section down below what you believe is the best operator skill so far in Call of Duty Mobile. And if you guys do enjoy this video, a like would just mean so much to me, as well as if you guys are new around here, be sure to go and subscribe for future COD Mobile videos. But without further ado, let's start off with the worst operator skill currently in Call of Duty Mobile multiplayer. The worst operator skill on this list is the Transform Shield. I feel like if I asked you guys to create your own list of worst to best operator skills, 99% of you guys would have the Transform Shield at the worst. I just feel like the Transform Shield is better suited for the Battle Royale rather than the multiplayer in my opinion, and just let me kind of explain why. Typically, when playing the Battle Royale, you'll find yourself out in the open with no cover to hide behind. If an enemy is coming up to you with their squad and there's no immediate cover to stand behind, you can just easily place down your Transform Shield, which will increase your chances of survival. Now, when it comes to multiplayer, cover is not as distant as it would be in the Battle Royale. The multiplayer maps are designed in such a way to provide cover in central fight locations, so by having a shield, not only are you adding an unnecessary element to the map, but it's taking up a slot that could be used for a better skill. There are moments where the shield can be useful, but for the most part, it's just kind of useless. The second worst operator skill is the Purifier. Even though it's the second worst operator skill on this list, it isn't really that bad of a skill, it's just worse compared to all the other remaining skills. The Purifier is a flamethrower that blasts a stream of scorching fire within a close range. Based off that in-game description, it just straight up outright says the negative about this skill, which is the close range. The Purifier can only kill enemies within a short range, and it doesn't even provide an instant kill, meaning you can set an enemy on fire, but they can still have the opportunity to go and kill you. With that said, there are 2 positives about this weapon. If you do happen to set someone on fire, they will eventually die out and you can get the kill. The other positive is that you actually have a lot of ammo for the skill if you can go and use it properly. If you single tap enemies rather than holding down the trigger, you'll have the opportunity to kill more enemies just due to there being more fuel in your weapon. But overall, the Purifier, even though it is my guilty pleasure and I just love setting people on fire, is ranked on this list as the second worst operator skill. The next one here is the Tempest. I didn't really use the Tempest that much going into this video, but I was really surprised on how the gun actually performed. I was expecting this gun to be either at the number 1 spot or at the number 2 spot, but here it is at the number 3 spot. There are 2 negatives that I have about the Tempest. Firstly, the hitbox with the Tempest is just so unforgiving. If you're even a centimeter off your target, the shot just won't register with the enemy's body at all. Also, if you're in a lobby with somewhat of a questionable ping, it's definitely going to be a challenge trying to go and operate the skill. Secondly, it only has 8 shots with it. Granted, you have the potential to get 8 kills with this weapon, but like I mentioned, it's pretty difficult with the hitbox, so it's definitely going to be a challenge trying to go and nail every single shot. Now, there are some positives about this weapon. For example, it's a one-shot kill if you're fully charged, and this is the only operator skill on this list that offers a true, genuine one-shot kill ability. So if you're good with your aim, you can pretty much expect to do some serious damage here to the other team. Secondly, this gun can be used at close, mid, as well as long range. It's an overall solid weapon, but just due to the severity of some of the negatives that I mentioned here on this list, it just places it at the number 3 spot here. Now, this is the part of the list where it got a little bit difficult for me. At the number 2 spot here, I just have to give it to the War Machine. The War Machine is an absolute tank of a weapon. The War Machine is a fully automatic grenade launcher with a devastating payload. From that in-game description, they're really not wrong. You can wipe out a whole squad with one shot from the War Machine, and it's also a pretty agile weapon considering the amount of damage that it does and just its overall appearance. Now, I know a lot of people may be just shaking their heads and questioning my position here with this ranking, but just let me explain here. Don't get me wrong, the blast radius is really cool with this weapon, but if you're within that radius, you'll definitely have some damage done to you. Secondly, the aiming is a little bit weird here with the War Machine. If you're not used to using this weapon at all, it can be a little bit difficult just trying to get down the trajectory of the shots that you're putting down. In a way, you almost have to go and lead where you want your shot to go, and you have to kind of adjust accordingly there, but I really do like the War Machine. Don't get me wrong, it can be useful in certain situations, but I just truly do believe that there is one operator skill that is just a little bit better. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at the number 1 spot, I just have to go and give it to the Scythe. The Scythe is at the number 1 spot here because it's the best overall weapon. I feel like you can use this gun in the majority of situations, whether or not it's a close or mid or long range engagement. The Scythe is a handheld minigun that slowly increases accuracy over time. The gun has over 70 bullets and both a FI firing rate as well as damage. Even though your movement is slightly reduced compared to other operator skills out there, you can find yourself getting multi-chain kills and more kills on average when using the skill. For me, I've been using the Scythe as a main now for a couple weeks, and have just been more than satisfied with its performance. But there you have it, guys. Like I said, this was just my own personal opinion on the worst to best operator skills in Call of Duty Mobile. Now, I did want to involve you guys, the community, in this video, so on Twitter, I pretty much asked you guys, what do you believe is the best operator skill on COD Mobile? So we might as well begin with Tornado here, and he said, the Scythe 100%, it's good at everything unlike the others. And it's kind of funny, because that's pretty much exactly like what I said too. It's an overall solid weapon, whether or not someone's pushing you at close range, or you want to go and use it at long range if you're like spawn trapping people from a distance. The Scythe is just the overall best weapon to use, and I would just perfectly agree with Tornado here. Going on to the next one, we have I'm So Awesome Face, or my son, and he said, I don't like saying this because I feel like a noob, but War Machine is highly effective. And you know what? I actually don't disagree. Like, the War Machine is extremely effective. Like I said, you can get multi-kills with this weapon. You could really go off with this weapon, especially if you're doing something like domination and you have to capture objectives and there's enemies pushing you. Yeah, man, the War Machine, by no stretch of the imagination, is a horrible weapon. It can be highly effective, but I just feel like with some of the negatives, like being able to go and kill yourself as well as just trying to go and aim with this weapon, it can be a little bit difficult at times, but I would have to imagine after you go and effectively master the War Machine, that it could probably be a solid weapon to go and use. Hawk's Nest, who also uploads Call of Duty Mobile videos, if you guys want to go and check him out, feel free to go and do so, but he says depends on the map and mode for sure, which I would also agree with. The Noob Tube, the most effective in domination and hardpoint for sure, just gotta know how to use it. And I actually fully agree with this statement, and he brings up a lot of solid points, like when he mentions it depends on the map and the mode. that's where kind of the Scythe for me overall is the best weapon, because it's like the War Machine, for example, in Domination and Hardpoint, it can just be an absolute game changer. But with Hawk going and saying you gotta know how to use it, I feel like that's really the most important thing when going and using these operator skills, is that if you're not using them to their fullest potential, you're really going to be undermining the true potential of a lot of these guns. Going on to the next one, we have Indro, and he said, the Tempest is an underrated operator skill. It is highly effective due to its long range, but it needs a little time to master the art of using a Tempest. It's like the sniper rifle, you need a little time to learn, but if you learn how to use it effectively, you can master it and you can carry the team. And you know what, you're actually not wrong with that too. Like I mentioned, even when I was going and explaining what the Tempest is like, you can use it at a long range, and it can be very similar to like a sniper rifle, in which you have to go and nail your shot. If you're bad in terms of accuracy in this game, then the Tempest won't be the gun for you, but if you can actually go and aim in properly, the Tempest really isn't that bad of a weapon. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to go and conclude the video today. Thank you guys oh so very much for tuning in and watching. I really do appreciate it. I do want to mention this, if you guys are interested in watching me playing some Call of Duty Mobile live, be sure to go and subscribe to my second channel called Call of Duty Mobile TV. There will be a link to it down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comments. Also, if you guys are interested in watching Call of Duty Mobile funny moments, there will be a link to Call of Duty Mobile Clips, which is a YouTube channel in which you guys can go and submit your own funny moments or just crazy moments that happen to you in Call of Duty Mobile, and you can get featured on one of our daily videos over there. Also, every week we do give away 800 COD points to one lucky person who goes and submits the clip. So like I mentioned, if you want to be a part of that channel, feel free to go and check that out, also in the description or in the pinned comments. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Parker. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful and fabulous day, because I certainly am, and I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video.